What's going on, guys? My name is James Livingston, trader over here, analyzing the market for you guys, trying to give you guys some helpful tips as far as what I can see going into just the last couple of trading days, as well as today FOMC day. Give you guys a pretty good example of what today was like, just looking at this one candlestick. Just absolute blood. It did have like a little pop up there right around when Jay Powell was speaking at roughly about 2:30, but ultimately the market just decided to sell off really rapidly, to be honest. So everything, of course, all the other stocks we've been watching, all the other stocks, pretty much everywhere were just tanking. It was kind of to be expected. Once the market started dumping that way, the rest of the stocks just kind of do. There's nothing you can really do about it except just let it happen, manage your positions accordingly. One thing I will say is I am still in PayPal. I know that sounds crazy because we just absolutely dumped back down to the 61s. But I'm just curious to see what happens these next 2 days. I have an amount in there that I'm not scared to lose all of, but I also don't want to poorly manage my risk like that. I think right now I'm about 60% down, 63% I believe. So I'm down pretty. I'm down pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. But they're February 16th contracts, so I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind that we still are over 2 weeks out. Do I want to hold these over the weekend? I really don't, unless this thing shows like heavy signs, like we start pushing back above. Honestly, the only way that they're going to get me to hold this thing over the weekend is if they start pushing back up on 64.39. If they start pushing back here on 64.39 by Friday, 64.50 or higher, then they got my attention. I'll probably stay in it, and ride the trend up, because at that point we're starting to enter into breakout territory. But if they keep dumping this thing like we are right now, the 30-minute, my larger time frames, everything is underneath of the 20 and the 200 and the 60, all the EMAs right now. We had a very strong crossover there on the hourly here for PayPal. So definitely some decent bearish action, but again, I'm trying to consider the fact that the market sold off completely right then and there, which, again, the market could sell off tomorrow, but there's a lot of momentum and push pressure there from the market selling off. I believe they kind of carried everything else down. And we could see some relative strength out of certain stocks tomorrow, depending on how the market decides to play out. If it goes down, maybe we'll see some stocks that will shine over. PayPal could be one. So I'm giving it, giving a little bit of breathing room. Another one that, we've been watching that's just kind of pulling back now is the Upstart. So Upstart is starting to fall through that inverse head and shoulders. We had it there, but these last 2 days, it's just absolutely gotten melted down. We are in that area where we could start to see a bounce. I'm seeing a little bit of bullish divergence. If you look here on the RSI, you can see that we're going up. The strength is going up on this one, but you can see that low down lower, so we're getting lower lows on higher relative strength. In my opinion, this thing is ready to bounce a little bit. It's just a matter of how hard does this bounce. I still think my targets are still 100% accurate as far as what I stated in the other video, so I'm not really concerned with that. But it is just a minor setback as of right now. So we'll see how the bulls defend it if they can. Otherwise, if the market starts to really drip down tomorrow, then it could get ugly. So let's go over some levels for you guys. So if we're looking at SPY's levels specifically, obviously we want to see that breakdown of today's low, which would have been, I would say, roughly that 482, like 90, 483. I think that's a pretty strong support there. And then I do have one marked down that's about, looks like it's over at 481. A second. Yeah, 41.71. So it's basically the pull down. You can see where we're bouncing right now. We basically just kind of retraced through all this movement we had over the last couple of days. It's pretty crazy. We lost all that in one day. And then, that was a double bottom there before. Who's not to say we get a bounce here again, just because typically at this point we do get that bounce. So we'll see if the market reacts that way. Otherwise, I could see, us retracing to the nearest EMAs, to the 20 EMA on the 15-minute, for possible continuation down. Or if the buyers can really step in and get this reverse, then they still have a shot at closing the week on a decent candle. It won't be anything graceful. It'll probably be more of like a kind of like a evening star candle, so like a doji. But we'll see. They might be able to push it. I've seen crazy things happen. So the daily EMA, we are just about at the 20. If bulls can push this one up and fill up yesterday, that will be a huge move by them. They got a nice reset off of this on the RSI, off of this pretty hefty move. So who's not to say that they buy it up? We'll see. But right now, levels wise, I would look for, again, a low 42.86. And I would not really look bullish on this thing until we get back up over, you want to kind of look for, basically, you could probably scalp it here around like 484.80, it looks like. Yeah, 484.80. You could probably scalp a breakout there. You might have a little bit of breathing room, like up to, I don't know, 486, a little over 46. But at that point, the 200 EMA here will kind of have scaled down, pulled back down. You'll be just over the 60, which is bullish. So then at that point, I'd be looking for a breakout of this kind of like zone, this consolidation phase that we had yesterday, or today rather. So ultimately, looking very, very bearish. Definitely a pullback on the large time frame. Daily, 4 hours, just starting to lose the 60, or trying to bounce from the 60. Again, the daily, we're bouncing from the 20, but everything else is turning bearish on the shorter time frames. So, this session tomorrow specifically, I think is going to be very important to see where the direction will be, not only for the next day, Friday, but also the week and weeks coming up. So it'll definitely be an interesting end to the week here. Let's see what else we got here. I wanted to look over, there's a couple other ones. We were talking about Roku. Well, the toughest part right now is because of the FOMC. A lot of these names have kind of like invalidated their trends for the moment. But again, tomorrow will be a very crucial day, so it's tough to talk about a lot of these because I think we'll have to really see what happens tomorrow. I think there's a report coming out. Let me just double check that. Weekly. Yeah, so we do have jobless claims. We have the U.S. productivity. And then Friday we have non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, hourly wages, factory orders, consumer sentiment. So Friday is going to be definitely another interesting day to watch. And a lot of times I've seen it where, we have these giant pull downs, we have these big pullbacks, and then, we get these absolute face rippers on usually Fridays, but I've seen it go Thursday into Friday. So, we've seen it before. This literally happened before, way back. I don't know the exact dates, but I don't know if this is from that exact moment or that exact, like an FOMC day. But we had a moment back here. We had a giant pull down and then continuation afterwards. The market needs to reset. These days aren't terrible for the market as a whole. They just, they're a little bit tragic at first. You can see right here, we had a pullback like that where we were on a run, hit that big red candle, and then we had a big bullish engulfing the next day. So it really it comes down to how strong are the bulls, how badly do they want to get this SPY up to 500. But Like I said, I think this is a very healthy pullback as of right now. Nothing really was said in the Fed meeting that I can think of that was, too bad. They basically just said, rate pauses, and I think they opened the door for rate cuts again this year, which they already said prior, and the market reacted well to it. And then I do believe they also, a lot of the questions were a lot about rate cuts and how soon, and I think a lot of that kind of just like talking about rate cuts and stuff, I think was killing the price action a little bit, but probably not. But no, it was nothing substantial in my opinion said. Jerome Powell kind of was cool, calm, and collected like he usually is. No real urgency in his voice in my opinion, so nothing too crazy. So we'll see how the market reacts tomorrow. We'll see if they can get to pop up. But as always, guys, if you did like the video, please do leave a like, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, anything I can do better, anything you'd like to see. And of course, if you're new to the channel, just watching this for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button because it does help me out a lot. So have a great rest of your night, and happy trading. Peace.